The year was 1971. The air was thick with tension, and the streets of Washington, D.C. were cloaked in an unsettling silence. Washington, D.C. shuddered under a pall of fear. The city, usually bustling with life, now seemed to hold its breath, waiting for the next strike. A specter haunted its streets, a predator lurking in the shadows. The darkness seemed to come alive, whispering tales of dread and despair. He was a phantom, preying on the city's most vulnerable young black girls. Innocence was shattered as fear took root in the hearts of families. He became known as the Freeway Phantom. His name echoed through the corridors of the city, a grim reminder of the terror that lurked just around the corner. His hunting ground, the city's intricate network of highways. These roads, once symbols of connectivity, now became pathways of fear. His motive, a chilling enigma. Detectives pored over clues, trying to piece together the puzzle of his twisted mind. This is the story of the Freeway Phantom, a tale of terror that continues to haunt the nation's capital. A story that refuses to fade into the annals of history. The Freeway Phantom's reign of terror lasted for 179 days, a period punctuated by fear and uncertainty. Each day brought new dread, each night a new nightmare. 6 young black girls, their lives brimming with potential, were snatched from the streets, their fates intertwined in a horrifying mystery. Their dreams, hopes, and futures were cruelly stolen. Each abduction followed a chillingly similar pattern. Each victim discovered lifeless, their bodies discarded like broken dolls. The city mourned as it grappled with the horror of these senseless acts. The city held its breath, united in fear and desperate for answers. Communities came together, hoping to find solace and justice amidst the chaos. Who was this predator? Why these innocent girls? The questions lingered, casting a long shadow over the city, a shadow that remains to this day. The nightmare began on the evening of April 25, 1971. 14-year-old Carol Spinks, a bright, lively girl, vanished while running an errand for her mother. She was last seen walking along 14th Street, a route she often took. But Carol never made it home. 2 days later, her small body was discovered. She had been strangled, her body bearing the horrific signature of the Freeway Phantom, meticulously posed, fully clothed, but with her underwear removed and placed neatly beneath her. The discovery sent shockwaves through the city. A killer walked among them. The hunt was on. Fear gripped the city. Parents kept their daughters close, warning them of the dangers lurking in the shadows. But the Phantom was relentless. On May 20th, 1971, he claimed his second victim. 11-year-old Brenda Woodward disappeared after leaving her home to buy groceries. Like Carol, she was last seen on 14th Street. Her body was found the next day, discarded near the Suitland Parkway. She too had been strangled and posed, her underwear missing. The city was in the throes of terror. The killer, emboldened, struck again. On June 1, 1971, 12-year-old Nenomoshia Yates vanished. She was last seen boarding a bus, her destination home. Nenomoshia's body was found the next morning, dumped near the highway. She had been strangled, her body posed, her underwear missing. The modus operandi was chillingly familiar. The Phantom was toying with the city, leaving a trail of grief and terror in his wake. The city was paralyzed by fear. The killer seemed unstoppable. On July 1, 1971, 12-year-old Brenda Crockett disappeared. She was last seen walking home from a store near her house. Her body was found the following morning, discarded like the others. 5 days later, 18-year-old Diane Williams vanished. She was last seen getting off a bus just a few blocks from her home. Section 5. A Glimmer in the Darkness. The Call Me God Letter. Diane's body was found the next day, left near the highway. The city was in despair. The Phantom had taken 6 young lives, leaving behind a trail of shattered families and a community gripped by fear. The police were baffled. Despite their tireless efforts, the killer seemed to vanish into thin air after each murder. Then, a glimmer of hope emerged from the darkness. A chilling letter, penned in a scrawled hand, arrived at the Metropolitan Police Department. "This is the man who is raping and killing your girls," it read. The letter, signed, "Call Me God," sent shivers down the spines of seasoned detectives. Was this the break they had been waiting for? Section 6. The Phantom's Last Stand, The Final Abductions. The letter, filled with taunts and threats, promised more killings if the police didn't catch him. A massive manhunt ensued, but the Phantom seemed to have vanished into thin air. The letter, later analyzed by the FBI, was deemed authentic, the voice of the killer echoing through its chilling words. Then, just as suddenly as it began, the reign of terror ended. The Freeway Phantom disappeared, leaving behind a legacy of fear and unanswered questions. The city of Washington, D.C. breathed a collective sigh of relief, but the scars of the Phantom's crimes ran deep. Section 7. Theories and Speculations, a Web of Possibilities. Over the years, the case of the Freeway Phantom has attracted numerous theories, each attempting to shed light on the identity of the elusive killer. The mystery has baffled law enforcement and intrigued amateur sleuths alike, leading to a myriad of speculations and hypotheses. Some investigators believe the murders were the work of a lone serial killer, a predator driven by a perverse and insatiable need. This theory suggests a single individual with a deep-seated psychological compulsion, operating under the cover of darkness and preying on vulnerable victims. Others point to the possibility of multiple perpetrators, perhaps a group of individuals working together to carry out these heinous acts. This theory posits that the murders were orchestrated by a coordinated effort, with each member playing a specific role in the gruesome events. One of the most prominent theories links the Freeway Phantom to the Green Vega Gang, a notorious criminal organization operating in Washington, D.C. during the 1970s. This gang was infamous for its violent activities and had a significant presence in the area during the time of the murders. Known for their brutality and ruthlessness, the Green Vega Gang was suspected of involvement in various criminal activities, including drug trafficking, extortion, and murder. Their reputation for violence made them a prime suspect in the eyes of many investigators. Some investigators believe that the Freeway Phantom murders may have been a way for the gang to instill fear in the community or to eliminate potential witnesses. The terror inflicted by these crimes could have served as a powerful tool for maintaining control and silence within their territory. The true nature of the Freeway Phantom remains shrouded in mystery, leaving a web of possibilities that continues to captivate and confound those who seek the truth. Section 8. The Unanswered Questions, a Cold Case's Legacy. Despite the passage of time, the Freeway Phantom case remains unsolved, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the shadows. This case, which began in the early 1970s, involved the abduction and murder of several young girls in Washington, D.C. The perpetrator, who came to be known as the Freeway Phantom, left behind a trail of fear and sorrow, but no concrete clues that could lead to their capture. The lack of concrete evidence, coupled with the limitations of forensic technology at the time, has hampered investigative efforts for decades. In the 1970s, forensic science was not as advanced as it is today. DNA analysis, which has solved many modern cases, was not available. Investigators had to rely on more rudimentary methods such as fingerprinting and eyewitness accounts, which often proved unreliable or insufficient. Some speculate that racial bias may have played a role in the case's lack of resolution. During that era, the civil rights movement was still fresh in the minds of many, and systemic racism was pervasive in many institutions, including law enforcement. The victims, being young black girls, may not have received the same level of urgency and resources as other cases involving different demographics. The victims, all young black girls, may not have received the same level of attention and resources as victims of other high-profile cases. This disparity in attention and resources has left a lasting impact on the community, fostering a sense of injustice and neglect. The families of these young girls have had to grapple with not only their loss, but also the feeling that their loved ones were not deemed important enough to warrant a thorough investigation. The Freeway Phantom case serves as a stark reminder of the enduring impact of unsolved crimes on families and communities. The pain of not knowing what happened to their loved ones continues to haunt the families. Vigils and memorials are held to honor the victims, but they also serve as a somber reminder of the justice that has yet to be served. The families of the victims continue to live with the pain of not knowing who took their loved ones and why. They hold on to photographs and memories, clinging to the hope that one day, answers will come. The emotional toll is immense, affecting not just the immediate family members but also the broader community that shares in their grief. The lack of closure haunts them, a constant reminder of the injustice that remains unaddressed. Each passing year without answers deepens the wound, making it harder to heal. The Freeway Phantom case is a poignant example of how unsolved crimes can leave a lasting scar on the fabric of a community, a scar that will remain until justice is finally served. Section 9. Conclusion. Justice for the Freeway Phantom's victims. The Freeway Phantom's reign of terror may have ended, but the mystery surrounding his identity and motives continues to captivate and confound. The case serves as a reminder of the importance of seeking justice for victims and their families, no matter how much time has passed. It also highlights the need for continued advancements in forensic technology and investigative techniques to help solve cold cases and bring closure to those affected by such tragedies. Until the Freeway Phantom is unmasked, the families of Carol Spinks, Brenda Woodward, Nenomosha Yates, Brenda Crockett and Diane Williams will continue to wait for the answers they deserve. Their fight for justice must continue, ensuring that their loved ones are not forgotten, and that the shadow of the Freeway Phantom no longer darkens the streets of Washington, D.C.